Greetings for the video. Today's gonna be a Q&A of your, I guess, embarrassing questions to do with cycling that you're too afraid to ask. So they're all gonna be anonymous, and I'm just gonna be very open and very honest. And yeah, maybe if you're a bit squeamish, maybe don't watch this video. So first question, we'll going pretty tame, is do you feel comfy in lycra all the time? This person was saying that they felt a little bit self-conscious in lycra. And I know when I first started riding and I was like 100 kilos, I did feel a bit self-conscious in lycra. However, I still wore it because it just felt more comfortable to wear lycra. However, if you don't feel comfortable in lycra, you don't need to wear it in order to feel like you're a cyclist. Wear whatever you feel comfortable in, 100%, just wear what you're comfy in. How do you stop the fear of descents, like really steep descents? And I remember the first climb I ever rode up, it was 5K, it was Norton Summit, and I remember getting to the top, and then I got to the top and I was like, okay, I'm like crapping myself now, how the hell am I gonna get down from this? Two guys who I got chatting to at the top kind of rode at the side of me, like teaching me how to descend. And descending can be scary when you're new to it, or even now, really steep descents, so I'm talking really quickly. Steep descents still like, oh, that's quite steep. So what I would say is just do gentler descents first, get used to it, and then build up to doing like steeper ones. And equally, if you don't feel that confident, just get off and walk. But I actually think sometimes walking is worse, as in like scarier. So just do what you feel comfortable with. And equally, just going on to descents, you don't feel like you have to go at like a set speed. If you're in a group and loads of people are flying away, like that's fine, let them go. Just do what is in your comfort zone, because you know, there's no prizes for going fast downhill, especially if you crash. So just do stuff within your own limits. Where do you poop and wee on rides? And how do you, how does all that work? So for a little tinkle, you just find anywhere. And I know at the start I was a bit like, oh, is this okay to do this? And then now I'm like, I'll just have a little tinkle. I feel comfortable doing it anywhere, but you just want to make sure that you're away from like a main road, that you're away from people, that anyone can see you, and yeah, just find somewhere and just have a little squat down, I guess. Someone else asked as well about, should you take toilet roll, should you take water to clean yourself, or do you just pull your bibs up? For me, generally, I mean, this is going into a lot of detail, but I mean, this is what we're going to do in this video. Like, I'll just pull my bibs back up, because generally, like, you're wearing your bibs for a day and then you're washing them. On multi-day things, I will wash my bibs at night. And equally, it's just a little bit of tinkle, isn't it? And like my wee is pretty like water anyway, so it's fine. You're not gonna get any, well, I've never had any infections from just doing that. Let's get on to pooping. So pooping is a bit different. And I think when you start doing endurance stuff, you do get more used to feeling like, well, you're in the middle of nowhere, you need a toilet, you're not always gonna have a toilet. So ideally, you wanna find a toilet. And if you can't, just find again somewhere that's out of the way, dig a hole, do your business, bury it over. Talk about wipes and tissues. I always take them with me. I will never leave them where I've pooped, never leave them there. Always, I have like a little, this is going into a lot of detail, but I'm gonna be honest. I take like a little plastic bag with me, like a little bag that is used for any of those wipes, just to be rolled up and put into my back pocket or in my bag or whatever, just to take it away so that I can dispose of it safely, rather than just do not leave it in the countryside, or just don't do that. Please don't do it. So yeah, it's just as you would. You do get used to it, and a lot of the times on long rides, sometimes you do have to do that. There's no other option. Lady parts and saddle comfort. Should you, like, what's the amount of pain that you should feel? Should you get pain? Like, is that just something that you have to put up with? The answer to that is no, hell no. I think a lot of women think that you just have to, and men think you have to put up with pain. No, no, no. Whatever your anatomy, you should be able to find a saddle and a short that is comfortable to ride long distances in. And it's just about finding that perfect combo that fits you. And I think more so for women, because women's anatomy can vary more. And so that's why I think there is a need for, especially more saddles. There's like in recent years, there's been so many more saddles coming out for women. So it's just about finding the right saddle for you. Next question about ingrown hairs. A lot of questions about this, saying I've got a really bad one on like my inner like groin, like what do I do? The thing with ingrown hairs is, and this is what Phil Burt has taught me, is don't wax and don't shave down there if you're male or female, because that is aggravating the hair follicle, and then you are going to be prone to ingrown hair. So if you think you shave something off and there's that follicle in there, and then you're riding and you're causing friction on that, you're going to get an ingrown hair. So what Phil has always recommended is to use a hair trimmer, or you can get like laser to get everything removed if you want it removed, or use a trimmer like Phil recommends. And that's just meaning that you're not actually taking the hair out at the root or like at skin level, so you're not going to get any ingrown hair. So yeah, ladies and gents, if you do that, don't wax and don't shave if you don't want to get ingrown hairs. Periods. So many questions about periods. What do you do on your period? Are you still able to ride on your period? How to reduce bloating when you're on your period? Right, I'm just going to talk for me and what I do. First thing is, are you still able to ride when you're on your period? Yes, and a couple of questions were about, you know, does it not make you more fatigued and things like that. Dr. Stacey Sims has done loads of research into this and actually found that actually when you are on your period, that's when you are at your strongest. And I had actually realised this, I'd worked out, because there was a few different events that I'd done when I was on my period or doing like different efforts, and I'd always performed better when I was on my period. And so now I'm kind of irritated if I've got a big event or a big thing and I'm not on my period. I want to be on my period for it because that's when I'm at my strongest. So yeah, absolutely, still go out, do all the things you want to do while you're on your period. The other questions were about like, what do you use when you're on your period? So do you use tampons, sanitary towels, things like that? And for me, I find, and I have found for the past 10 years, I use it's a moon cup, like a diva cup. It's basically, if you don't know what they are, it's like a reusable, like rubber, it's kind of like an egg cup, I guess, that you like insert, and then that catches the blood, and then you just take that out, dispose of it, rinse it, and then sterilize it, and then reuse it. I think you don't sterilize it in between when you're actually like in one period, if that makes sense, but in between periods then you just sterilize it. And they are incredible. They are just so good. And yeah, it saves money, it saves time. And when you're out and about, if you're doing a long endurance ride, you can just either empty it into a toilet and then rinse it or wipe it out. You don't have to actually dispose of anything, and if you're in the wild, then I guess I've never had to do that. But yeah, that's a really good option, especially if you're going to go away somewhere new, you're on holiday or something. You just take that with you. You don't have to then worry about, can I find tampons in this country or wherever I am. So that, I just find that the most comfortable, the most cost effective, and the most environmentally conscious thing, I guess, to do. Really recommend them. So if you've not tried them, try them. Oh, the other question was about bloating. I think a lot of it is just about knowing that your body is going to fluctuate over the time of the month, and just drink well, eat well, and yeah. Where do you put chamois cream? That was another question. So for me, I put chamois cream, or you want to maybe put chamois cream anywhere that you're going to chafe, or anywhere there's going to be friction. So you can either put that on yourself, on your chamois, in your shorts, or on both. I just put it on myself. I don't ever put it on my shorts, but yeah, just want to put it anywhere that's going to chafe or rub when you are riding. It's just to prevent that friction. So yeah, simple as that. Can I still be a roadie and ride a road bike if I'm using flat pedals or mountain bike shoes and pedals? The answer to that is of course. I think there's a little bit of like stigma around this. I generally use mountain bike pedals when I'm riding my road bike. And if you want to use and wear flats, wear flats. If you're riding a bike, that's all that matters. And if people have got a problem with that, they're probably not the people that you want to be associating with. So wear whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. Is it rude to, I'm just wiping my nose, good timing. Is it rude to spit or blow your nose while you're riding a bike? The answer to that, I would say, is, I mean, I guess it depends where you are, scenarios, like if you're in like a small park and you're just spitting everywhere, then no. But sometimes when you're riding, you do need to blow your nose and clear your nose, and just if you're in a group, just do it with etiquette, make sure there's no one behind you, at the side of you when you're gonna blow your nose. But I do blow the older snot rocket now and then. Just clears everything out. So I guess it depends what's on. If you're just doing it for the sake of it, like I hate seeing when people like just walk on the street and just spit. I'm just like, that's gross. But I guess equally, like, I actually don't ever spit. I always wipe it on my buff that's around my neck. I don't know, is that more gross? I don't know. I just think there's a way of doing it. If you're gonna do it, just kind of do it somewhere that's quiet, not in front of a load of people. But yeah. So, I hope I've answered all your questions. If you've got any more questions and you want me to do a part 2 of this, leave them in the comments. And I will see you all next video. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, farewell, see you next video. What's that say? I can't even read my own writing here. What does that say? Injury, house? I don't even know what that says. Go on to the next one. Oh, ingrown hairs.